Look at me. Look at me directly in my eye. Look at me. You do not pay for rework. If somebody fails an inspection because they did faulty work, it is never your financial responsibility. Ever. Full stop. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Chicks in Construction. I am your host, Mickey Paradise, and this is my illustrious co-host.
Hi, I'm Jessica Abreu.
And today we have a homeowner horror story for you. We really appreciate you guys writing in. We are trying to kind of really build our library of homeowner horror stories. So if you or anybody you know has had an unfortunate experience with a general contractor, or role play here, little flipping of the script, if you are a general contractor and you have some tea that you think would be helpful to homeowners,
right?
Because we had this, I don't know who I had this discussion with. I think it was yesterday. We went to that networking event, which we'll talk about because that was a lot of fun. And we were talking, and she was like, "Well, you know, it shouldn't just be about contractors that are terrible. Like, what about homeowners?" And I was like, you know, we're aware that that's a thing.
We are aware that sometimes we are the problem.
That we are the whole problem. But so far, we have not had a single general contractor or contractor of any sort to either write in or come on the show to talk about like the real stories of things that happened, so that you as the homeowner can learn like, oh, okay, I don't want to be like that. So if you're a general contractor or a tradesperson and you're watching and you have a story, you don't have to you don't have to name names.
And we won't name names.
No, Jess won't. Even if you do name names, Jess ain't going to name them. So you can just go to chicksinconstruction.com and you can scroll down, and there's a little form. You don't even have to send us an email. It will send it for you. And you can fully remain anonymous. I was going to get it out. Anonymous. But we would love to have like really collect your stories. I feel like homeowner horror stories are the real juice of the pod. They're the meat, if you will. So we have one of those for you today. Before we started recording, I was just explaining to Jess, who doesn't watch TV. And to be fair, I did not watch this event, but we were talking about, I don't even know how we got on this topic.
We never know how. We just
never
side
know.
quest it up every day. It's just like, boop,
it up. It's squirrel. So somehow we got on the topic of the British version of the Oscars and how, I didn't finish telling you. So Michael B. Jordan, who is a snack. No, he's a whole meal. He's a whole meal. Let's just be honest. And I can't remember the actor that was standing on stage with him. They were presenting an award.
You weren't even watching the other person. Let's be honest.
I was not. I was absolutely not. I'm just like, listen, Hector, respect, but I'm not ordering off the menu. I'm just looking. And Michael B. Jordan is a tasty treat. So other than that, sorry I made it weird.
Now she's lost in her thoughts.
Yeah, now I'm like, no. So they were giving an award, and there was a dude in the audience that he has Tourette's, and they did a documentary about his life. And it was really wild because apparently there's like different kinds of Tourette's, and there's there's a specific kinds of Tourette's that the disease has some way of knowing what words you're not supposed to say in a situation, and it makes you say them.
Oh my Lord.
And so so it's a really interesting documentary because it makes you really realize like this isn't at all by choice, and it's not like, oh, you use that word because you've said that word. It's like that's what the disease forced to come out of your mouth because it knew this was the most inappropriate time.
It's like that little spot in your brain where you're like, I keep all these thoughts here and they don't come out.
Can I just tell you, like, I am a whole problem if that filter that did not stop me from, I would have been killed. Like, I'm just telling you right now, I stop. Everybody thinks like, oh, Mickey, you say whatever you think. No, I don't. I do not. I do not. If I said whatever I think, I'd 100% be in jail. 100%. There is an active filter, but I couldn't imagine not having that filter. And so he was in the audience, and he was pretty close to the stage, and they're like reading, from the whatever screen about whoever's receiving this award, and he yells out a racial slur like 3 times. Oh. And the worst part about it, because I watched this whole, like, I know, like, I watched this whole documentary about it on YouTube, like the whole situation that happened. And what's really crappy is, like, they let all of the people that were in the audience know that, hey, we just want to let you guys know that there's a gentleman in the audience who has Tourette's and he may yell things out, and we just wanted you to know. But they didn't let the viewers on the television know, nor did they edit it out. So this guy is on national television yelling racial slurs. And if you don't know what the story is, then you're out here. And, like, talk about ruining somebody's life. Like, as if that dude doesn't have enough problems.
Like, why didn't they just bleep it out, or just,
so
like,
they bleeped
mute
it? But it was like, they didn't, you know how they don't do the full bleep? So, like, you still know what the word was because they, like, got the tail end for, like, FCC, whatever. But, like, it was so you could know what it was. Yeah, and I was just like,
that's shady.
Ooh, shady. Speaking of shady, I haven't even told you this one. So, remember how we're talking about scams?
Yes. Who's scamming people now?
Gosh. I wanted to share this for all of our watchers because this is a really important one. Like, there's the ones where they call you and you're just like, if you have enough street experience, you know this isn't real, right? Mm-hmm. But they have gotten so sophisticated in their scams. So I have a Fidelity investment account. And yesterday I get a text message that it was like, here's the code to withdraw your funds. If you didn't request these funds to be withdrawn, call this number. I called the number.
Oh, no.
On the text. And so it's funny because this has happened twice. And the first one was from my bank. They claimed to be from my bank. And I knew almost right away that one was not legit because the guy's smoke detector was beeping. And I know in commercial spaces, they don't have smoke detectors like that. They have, like, full on fire alarms that when anything's happening, it's just, like, blaring the eardrums. So, like, I knew pretty much right away in that case that, like, it was a scam. But this one, so I call the number, he answers the phone, is like, like, rocks in his mouth. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't understand you. And he's like, oh, hi, no. And he had a British accent. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm from Fidelity. How can I help you? And so he's, like, asking me all these really weird questions. Not like my social security or anything like that.
What's your mother's maiden name?
No, it was
What's
like,
your first pet?
I wish. No, I don't wish. I do not wish. Do not wish. But it was weird. It was like the last transaction you made and about how much money did you have in your account? Because he was making it seem like this is how we're verifying your account.
Yes.
So I don't know what triggered the spidey sense, but he says that my account had been hacked, that my login credentials were compromised, and that they opened up a crypto account through Fidelity and they were trying to withdraw the funds from the crypto account that they opened. And he's like, I'm going to send you this link, click on it and log in. And I immediately went, nope. So my recommendation for you, the lovely viewers, because apparently on our podcast, we're not just trying to keep you safe from bad contractors. We're also trying to keep you safe from scammers. The podcast is evolving. One of the things, it was fine. I called Fidelity. It was a whole thing. It took like 24 hours to get it cleared up to make sure that, like, my account wasn't compromised or anything. But they were like, never call the number on a text. And they were like, actually, if you ever see a number to call, assume that is fraudulent because we will never give you the number to call. We will either call you
or tell you to call us
or send you an email or send you a text and say, hey, give us a call. We think there's a problem with your, or you'll get a message through the app. Like, if you have an app on their phone, you'll get a message through the app. And I was like, yeah, it's like, I knew that, and this is where the scammers really thrive.
Like, you get nervous because you're like, I don't want somebody taking my money.
And your brain, and they are hoping that your brain is so overwhelmed that you would just make bad decisions they can trigger you.
But you know why? They also ask you that last purchase and like how much it is because sometimes when you go to withdraw funds or something, that's something that they ask you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll be like, okay, what was your last transaction?
And I was like, I don't know. Like, listen.
I'm like, you're looking at my account. You tell me.
I don't know if anybody's watching the stock market right now, but I took a real hit. So I'm like, I'm not paying attention to it right now because things aren't going well. So that's the update on Scam Life.
All right.
Scam Life. And it's really, it just annoyed me. Oh, and just an update. I've got all the updates for you guys today.
Updates.
My fence is fixed. So if anybody watched, I think it was 2 episodes ago, my fence, somebody drove their car through my fence into my backyard, hit a tree. We got the fence fixed. So at least my backyard is not exposed
to everybody,
to literally everybody. And they can't see my special trash anymore.
Oh, that's good. Because somebody might try to come steal it.
I mean, that would be Hector's nightmare and my dream. It's funny because our neighbor is trying to sell his house. And I was like, you should have waited until the leaves were fully in bloom because they're going to look at your nice house and then they're going to look at our house and be like, oh, I don't want to live next to them.
So that's going to drop the price down a little bit.
Honestly, I hate him so much. I hope that I personally cost him $100,000. Like, this is the guy that did like all the damage to my property while I was out of town. So karma, you're welcome. So we have a homeowner horror story.
We do.
I did not read the whole thing because I feel like when I read it, I talk over you. So I'm going to try. I'm trying it out today to see if me not knowing will make me an active listener.
An active listener. All
That's the plan.
So you're not like, I know what to say here.
Right. That's what I was thinking because I was like, I got to work on not talking over Jess. I'm the whole problem.
Or it's just fun.
I mean, we do love a chat.
We do.
We're here for the chat.
All right. So this one comes from North Carolina.
Yes.
Which is where we are.
North Cac.
All right. So she says, we've been in the house for 3 years. The master bathroom was the last thing we needed to fix to get rid of the total builder grade crap. So they must, I wonder if they got a new home or if they.
Sounds like a new home. Builder grade. Yeah.
I mean, they're building so many homes here.
Well, it's funny because we're buying a short-term rental and it was just like it was one of their specs and the builder grade is for real. Like I get it. Like the kitchen's actually pretty nice. Like I wouldn't change anything, but like if I were going to live there, that bathroom would need Jesus. Like, I'm like, all absolutely not.
Yes. So they saved up $75,000.
Wow.
To do it right. Complete gut job. No tub, walk-in shower, double vanity, upgraded tile and fixtures. Like, that sounds like what I want to do in my bathroom.
You're like, but for not $75,000.
Can I get it?
Brad is like, absolutely not.
Like, no, we're poor. You can't do that.
Because we're poor. Please like and subscribe so Jess can afford to renovate her bathroom.
Hashtag first world problems.
For real.
We found a guy named Marcus through my neighbor's cousin.
Oh, God, you guys.
Can we stop?
I
mean, I understand that you want a recommendation from somebody, but... Oh, okay. So,
well, I mean, let's be fair. He could have turned out great, but it just so happens that all the ones that don't turn out great were some recommendation from like either Facebook or like your cousin's sister's brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they met him. He showed, met with him. He showed me photos of previous work, gave me a quote for $15,000.
15?
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
For labor.
It's not working.
We're already.
I'm already failing at trying to not talk over Jess. Sorry.
That's your word.
That's my word.
He gave me a quote for $15,000 for labor and $30,000 for materials.
Okay.
So we're at 45.
All right.
When I asked about his license, he told me North Carolina doesn't require a contractor's license for jobs where labor is under $40,000.
Liar! That is not true. I specifically asked the North Carolina Licensing Board, and they were like, honey, the only thing we don't count is the land. So That is the only piece that does not get factored into the total is the price of the land. Literally everything else is counted. My God, today.
I know. I didn't verify it. That was my first mistake.
Oh.
He said I should pull the permits myself as the
course he
homeowner
did.
to save on fees. Said it was normal. Would speed things up. So I got my husband to go down to the permit office, fill out the paperwork, and he paid the fees himself. And like, I get it. It makes, like, if someone's telling you, go do this, it'll make it faster.
And it does make sense, right? Because they're like, oh, if I can see the sales pitch. Like, oh, if my office doesn't have to deal with the permitting department, then that's money we don't have to charge you for. Like, I can see the pitch. But it's like,
it is not true.
No, honey. And also, listen, I've been to the permitting department. If that's not what you do, that is not a place you want to go. Like, they're nice and all, but it's very overwhelming. And especially in Wade County, it's really overwhelming.
Yeah. So your contractor should do it. He's just trying to get out of it and be sneaky.
Yeah, that I would say that's a major red flag. If they suggest you pull your own permits, immediately check their license.
Yeah. Be like, why?
Right.
Why do I need to do that? I don't want. And if you say, I don't want to do that, I'll pay you the extra to do it. And they still say no.
Yeah.
Then, you know,
Shade.
No.
Shade.
Run. Do not give them your money.
Don't walk, run.
Demo started the first week of March. They ripped everything out from the tub, vanity, and tile down to the studs. First week looked fine. I would be panicked. I'm like, everything's gone.
Yeah.
But I
feel like demo is all, unless like they demo and they realize that like something's rotten, demo's always fine. It's when they go to build back that things go sideways.
It's not going to be good. But just seeing everything demo will give me such a panic attack.
Yeah.
Then the plumbing inspection failed. Marcus called, said the inspector was being picky about the shower pan slope and some connections. Said he'd fix it for $1,200.
Oh!
I feel like this is constantly a thing.
You guys, look at me. Look at me directly in my eye. Look at me. You do not pay for rework. If somebody fails an inspection because they did faulty work, it is never your financial responsibility. Ever. Full stop. You hear me? You hear me? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your attention to this important matter.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
And that's why I don't get invited to TED Talks. Look at me in my eyes. Like, look at me in my face. Jesus, Mickey.
They're like, it's not supposed to be that aggressive.
I do everything aggressively.
And that's why we're here on a podcast with no audience.
With absolutely no one in it except for Joe. And we love Joe.
Yeah, he finds us funny.
Sometimes.
Other times he just rolls his eyes.
He rolls his eyes. There's a lot of eye rolling.
Even though we really can't see him that well. Because the lights.
It doesn't bother me.
All right. So he said he fixed it for $1,200. I paid him. They supposedly fixed it. 2 weeks later, the waterproofing inspection failed. Inspector said the shower membrane wasn't installed to code and there were gaps and improper overlaps that would leak and cause mold. I'm not sure what this stuff is, but it sounds important.
We've talked about it before. So like back in the day, you would just either put tile on drywall or you would get something that's like almost like a concrete type board and they would just slap the tile up on that. Mm-hmm. So now it's kind of evolved to where like they're realizing that anything that has any kind of porous anything is and water gets to it, it's going to start rotting the wood. So now they require this like fully watertight membrane that's like sometimes it's tape and like a liquid that gets coated on it and it has to be like 100% no holes because the whole point is we're doing this so that there's not a failure and then it rots through your house.
Yeah, and water will find any hole that it can go into.
Absolutely.
It's the worst.
It is. I mean, we love it because it keeps us alive, but my God, today.
All right, so you don't even want to know.
She doesn't pay him again.
She does.
Oh, mama.
Another $2,500 to rip it out and redo. At this point, I'm getting suspicious.
Okay. All right. So it took $4,000 to be suspect. Almost $4,000.
Almost $4,000.
Okay.
But what am I going to do? The bathroom's already destroyed.
Oh, this is how they do it.
Yep. And we are staying at my husband's parents, so in-laws.
Absolutely not. I mean, listen, my mother-in-law is a freaking delight, but if Hector ever had to stay with my mom, we would both kill each other.
Yeah, I am not. I'm very thankful that my in-laws don't live in North Carolina. We have a 12-hour drive to be able to go see them.
And that's probably not far enough.
I mean, she doesn't come down here. So it's fine. And we don't ever have to stay there because their house doesn't have, like, we would only go there in the summer because I'm over winter. That's why I'm here. And they don't have air conditioning on their second floor because in Massachusetts, we don't have central air and everything. Yeah. You have to be
the window units and whatnot.
You have to be like wealthy to have central air. Like, I was always so jealous of my friends that
had AC. You're like, wow, you've got real cash.
Yeah.
Your dad probably has a 401k and everything.
Have to hold the window open like extra high so my dad could put in this big unit into the window. And then you have to seal it all up, but there's always holes. So then there always ends up a fly or a spider coming in.
Yeah.
It's a whole problem. Anyway.
Sorry, side quest. We're wrapping it up. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're trying to land the plane.
All right. So, yes, staying at the in-laws. After the second failed inspection, I couldn't sleep. Something felt wrong. So I looked up NC Contractor licensing law. So she didn't check his license first. She went for the law to see what.
I support that. Yep. I mean, as long as we're looking.
We're looking. We're finding out information.
Right.
Here's what I found. Okay. In North Carolina, any contractor doing work over $40,000 needs a license. This includes all capital ALL
underlined
labor and materials.
Yeah. Like I've been saying, y'all, I'm not making this up for funsies on the pod. These are facts.
Yes. And every state has their own rules. So you have to look up where you are.
Some states are wild in these streets. Some states don't even have licenses. Texas is crazy.
So good luck if you're in Texas. Send us your horror story because I'm sure you have one.
And may the Lord be with you.
Yes. So then she went to the NC Licensing Board website and searched for Marcus. Searched his business name. Nothing. He had no license. Then I found out that licensed contractors are supposed to pull their own permits.
Yeah.
Having the homeowner pull permits is a red flag. And inspections shouldn't fail multiple times if the work's done right the first time. Correct. I'd already paid him $20,000-ish by this point. Yeah. Which was the initial deposit, progress payments, and those two fix-it charges, which she should not have been charged.
Absolutely not.
So I called Marcus on Monday, told him I knew he needed a license, and asked to see his license and insurance. Long silence.
Marcus.
Ooh, we see you. Mm-hmm. Then he said he was working under a licensed contractor.
Every time.
That he was a project manager.
Literally, this could come out of the every single one. Every single one. My God, today. And at least come up with a new lie. Like, if you're going to scam it. Do exciting scams. Do new scams. Do fun scams.
Be original.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, copying everybody else's scams is old news.
And, like, you don't present yourself as a project manager when you got the job. So, like, now you can't backpedal and be like, oh, I'm a project manager.
I'm just kidding. I'm not actually a general contractor. I'm a project manager. Yeah. Okay. Well, who's your license holder then?
Mm-hmm. So I asked for the name and license number of that contractor. Good for you.
Get it, girl. You rebounding.
He said he'd send it.
I bet he never called you back.
Nope, he never did. That's the next sentence.
It's as if I know how this works. I don't do this, though, just so you guys know.
No.
I don't know the steps because I do the steps. I know the steps because we have a podcast about the steps.
We have heard so many horror stories. I told him no more work until I could verify his credentials. He started yelling about the contract, about his crew schedule, about how I couldn't just stop paying him. Oh, yes, you can.
That's adorable, Marcus.
I told him the project was paused and hung up.
Get it, girl.
I'm like, I like that.
I support this.
Yes, give it to him. Next day, I went to the house. Everything was cleared out. His tools, his guys, everything gone. Just my gutted bathroom and a half-done shower that had failed to inspections.
I'm gonna press pause right here because I wanna give you guys an idea, some food for thought. Now, obviously, I'm not a doctor or a lawyer or a judge or a jury. I'm none of those things, but I've done this in the past. So, but listen, let's just be honest, you're probably not going to find yourself in a situation because you're going to check all these things. You're going to do all the work. You're going to make sure that they're licensed. You're going to know the rules. You're ahead of the game. But let's just say you do all the things right and you still find yourself in this situation. Here's the move. Before you call shady contractor and let them know that they're on the out skis. You go to your house, possession is 9/10 of the law, and you lock up those tools. Because here's the thing. When you have all of their tools, they are highly motivated to refund you in order to get said tools. Because the way that I see it, now again, I'm not a doctor or a lawyer, I think...
But I play one on TV.
I paid for those tools for work that hasn't been completed. So until I get my money back, these tools are what I paid $20,000 for, because I certainly don't have $20,000 worth of a bathroom. So I have a gutted bathroom, a shower that's failed 2 times that has to be done again, and all your tools. So if you want your tools back, then you can give me my money back. So the move there is don't fire them when they still have access to the project and all of their tools are there. Go there, secure said tools, and then tell the GC that they're fired or that you want your money back, because they're going to be a lot more motivated. Now, again, I don't know if this is bad advice, but this is just what I would do. This is what I would do. Legal or not, I'm telling you right now, this is what I would do. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think a judge or jury in the state of North Carolina would be mad at me for holding on to those tools for somebody who had scammed me out of $20,000.
Right.
Again,
and who's lying.
Full disclosure, not giving you legal advice. I'm just saying this is what I would do, legal or not.
And I mean, I'm big on, I don't like people in my house when I'm not there.
Yeah.
So there is no way that I'm giving anybody access to it.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why you'd want to, but I would always want to at least be there to, like, let them in.
Yeah.
Or...
I can see like them talking you into it because it's just ease of use. But like... And listen, if you're in that situation, for me, it would be hard for me to just give somebody full access to my house unless it was a new construction situation.
Also so
all
many
my
of
stuff is in there, right?
Like, I don't want you or your people going
rummaging through the underwear drawer.
Why is it always the underwear drawer?
Because that's the story we have is a lady with the HVAC guy that she caught going through her underwear drawer and ran for her life because she was afraid she was about to get serial killed.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like there's other. I mean, I know that you don't want to go to your house every day and have to let them in and things like that, but it's got to be.
Maybe do an electronic lock where you can give them access to the lock during certain periods of time, but you could immediately revoke it.
Yeah.
So something like that.
How do you know that they're not like sleeping over?
True story. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's a little. Anyway.
I mean, I know it has to happen,
right?
But I think there are things that you could do to mitigate that in some way.
All right. So I called him about 20 times over the next week. No answer. Then his number was disconnected.
Every time.
That's such a
shady.
And that's such like a wimpy move.
It is so wimpy.
Like, you're being such a little, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm thinking. I'm like, you know what I'm thinking. This is when I knew I was never going to see or hear from him again.
Oh.
I hired a lawyer to figure out my options. He said suing an unlicensed contractor is possible, but
fruitless.
Recovering money is unlikely, especially if they've disappeared.
Yeah.
Legal fees would probably exceed what I would recover. I brought in a licensed contractor to assess the damage. The waterproofing that supposedly got fixed after the second inspection, still wrong.
Oh my God.
He had to completely redo it. The plumbing had additional issues the inspectors hadn't caught. Some framing wasn't to code either. The licensed contractor I hired to fix and finish everything quoted $31,500. That brought my total to about $80,000, not counting materials that have been damaged or installed incorrectly and needed to be replacing. The final cost of our project was $95,000 for a bathroom that was budgeted for $75,000.
Oh my God.
The project ended up taking 9 months
For a bathroom.
instead of 3 that Marcus promised. Well, I'm assuming that like once she figured out, like who knows how long he took in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then to find somebody that had time on their schedule that was a reputable contractor, you probably had to wait some time. But I'm just like 9 months at my in-laws.
Oh my God. Sooner choose death. Well, of my mother, not mine. Again, Hector's mother is a delight.
Delightful. I filed a complaint with the state licensing board. They said they can't do anything because he wasn't licensed in the first place.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think they do a lot, even if you are licensed. I've tried to report people claiming, to be general contractors and they're not. And they're just like, oh, okay, well, let me file this in the round filing cabinet that I keep under my desk. Trash. Yeah, 100%.
There's a shredder there.
Yeah. I think the only, the story we had of the Jake Mulback, the guy who his house started literally collapsing because it was like the inspections department and the general contractor did him dirty. That's where we found out that the homeowner recovery fund, the only way that they'll give you any money out of it is if you agree to not go after the general contractor. Yeah. And I'm just like, the level of what in the world.
And it's such a small amount. It's only like, what was it, like 10%?
It was 10% of what was in the fund. So for Jake, they only had $600,000 in the fund. So he could only get, what,
60,000.
60,000. Which was not even going to put in the foundation structure that he needed to make his house like safe to live in.
Absolutely not. So they can't revoke a license that he doesn't have.
Right. Yeah.
So I filed a police report.
Get it, girl.
For fraud.
Okay.
It's under investigation, but the detective told me not to expect too much. So here's what I learned. In North Carolina, contractors doing work over $40,000 must be licensed. Verify it yourself on the NC Licensing Board website. Don't trust what they tell you.
Yeah.
Because they lie.
Yeah.
Licensed contractors pull their own permits. If they tell you to do it, that's a red flag.
Yes.
Get proof of insurance. Actually look at the policy. Get multiple references and call them. Ask to see completed projects. If inspections keep failing, something's wrong with the contractor, not the inspector.
Yes.
I didn't do any of that. Cost me $20,000 over budget, 6 months of my life, and staying with my in-laws for 9 months. The bathroom looks great now, but every time I use it, I think about what an idiot I was for not spending 5 minutes to verify his license. I mean, seriously, it does not take long. It's like, just type it in there, clickety-clack, and you're good.
Yeah.
And now she has a little commentary for us.
Okay.
Your show is great.
Thank you.
Mickey.
Yes? Oh, God.
I love that you let your husband have special trash. Mine has a collection of things that make 0 sense to me. But keeps him happy. So I guess they have that in common.
Hashtag special trash.
Hope this gets shared and helps someone else because it really sucks not knowing what crap these low lives can put you through.
Oh, and I just hate the idea that like she spent $95,000 on a bathroom renovation, and every time she walks into it, she just remembers everything bad that happened.
I feel like that will eventually go away.
I hope so. So I was thinking, if you really like, one of the things that we hear every single time that somebody's not licensed is, they said they were, and they were so confident, and I had no reason to think they weren't licensed.
They showed me pictures of their work.
And here's the thing: I think we should just normalize, no matter who you're considering, no matter how, like, I don't care if you're considering using somebody that you saw on the news for being like builder of the year. make it a practice and like just like this is how we do things, where you go and you check their license. And the other thing too is, and I don't know that this is as big of an issue, but it will help you determine whether somebody's very seriously in business or not. Validating their insurance. So it's not just enough fully to say, hey, can you provide me with a certificate of your insurance? You also need to call the insurance company and check to see that it's active, because a lot of times people will get a policy because you have the certificate, and then the next day they'll cancel the policy. But they have the certificate, so then they'll alter it. Like they'll go into like Adobe or whatever, and they'll add the homeowner's name and make it seem like, oh yeah, I just had my insurance company print this out for you. And it's not active. We've had that happen to us with subs that work for us, saying that they were licensed and finding out later that they weren't. And so that's one thing that we do is when we start working with somebody new, we say, okay, I'm gonna call your insurance company and verify that this is real. So just a heads up, if it's fake, you should probably just tell me now. So that's one of those things I would say, when you're not necessarily for every person you're considering, do you need to do that for? But I would say it would be a good idea if you've decided on a GC or a trade or whatever it is, you've already verified their licensing, and now you're like, okay, let me take it one step further and verify their insurance to make sure that it's active. Because now listen, things happen, and most contractors are small business owners and things fall through the crack, and I won't even pretend like, well, we've never lost insurance, but one time when we bought a new truck, the insurance company just never actually put the truck on my policy. So we were driving around wild in these streets without insurance. And they were like, when I lost my ever living mind on them, they were like, ma'am, it's fine. We would have covered it. But it's still like, I didn't like the fact that my guys were out there driving around without insurance on the truck. Because like, how insurance companies are. If there's an opportunity for them to get out of paying it, they're going to be like, oh, sorry.
You weren't covered.
What do you want me to do? So... But like, if you're seriously in business, then you understand the importance of having insurance. You understand the importance of keeping that paid and keeping that up to date. So if you call an insurance company and they're like, oh no, that policy was terminated X amount of days ago or 7 years ago or whatever it was.
Or I can't find that number.
Right. Or that's not real. We don't have that person in our system. Then that helps you to understand like, okay, maybe this isn't the company for me. But if you call and they're like, yeah, they're up to date and all the things, that's just another green flag. So that helps you kind of like move through the process where you have checked on everything that you can check on. Now, we've talked a lot about judgments and checking to see if people have judgments on them. But one thing I want to disclaim here is we ask you to check judgments. We add that to like our checklist, the chicks in construction checklist of like how to not get screwed over by trades. Because so many stories where somebody did get screwed out of enough money that they could sue over it, then found out that those people also had judgments against them. But I think it's important to know many of our stories, when the people contacted lawyers, they found out that it wasn't financially reasonable for them to go after the contractor because they weren't licensed. And again, we've said it a million times, you can't get blood out of a rock.
You cannot.
So 9 times out of 10, people will choose to not pursue legal action or a civil suit because it's not, they know they're not going to get their money back, and it's just going to cost them money that they already don't have. So if you check somebody out and they don't have judgments against them, I don't want you to think that like, okay, this is the only thing I need to check on. This is a green flag because they don't have judgments against them. They could have absolutely screwed people over, but it wasn't financially reasonable for them to try to pursue a civil case against them.
Right. I
am somebody who does not care. I will spend 10 grand to get 5 grand out of you for the sake of it. I'm just, it's
for the principle
of it. Like we're currently dealing with a situation now where I stupidly tried to help somebody who wanted to study for their general contractor's exam. And so we worked out a whole deal and did the whole thing. Like I thought I had really like stepped my game up as far as like helping people because I got a signed, notarized document that she was going to pay me back. So she goes to the class, and part of like half of the fee that I paid was for the books. So she goes to the class, and they never give her the books. And so,
are we sure they never give her the books?
Huh?
Are we sure?
We're sure.
Okay.
Yeah. The people did confirm that they never gave her the books. And what was weird is like when I took this class with the same company when I was prepping for my exam, and I got the books that day. And so I called her like a month after she was supposed to take her test or her class. And I'm like, hey, how did it go? And she was like, well, they never gave me my books. And I was like, what? Like that was a big chunk of the expense was the books. Like the class was like $600.
And
the
like,
books were like $300.
Wouldn't you ask somebody, where are my books?
Right. Don't get me started. So basically what happened was she realized after taking the class that she's probably never going to pass that test. Ooh. And so she wanted out. So she used the fact that they never gave her books as a way to be like, well, you need to get your money back from that company because I'm not gonna use them. I'm not gonna take my test from using their class.
No, she pays you. She goes after them.
Right.
Because
of course,
how would you know
how it happened?
How would you know that she didn't get her books to like go after them to begin with?
I will tell you, the Bank of Mickey is closed. It was seized financially. I'm just not doing it anymore because it did become my problem, and I had to go out and I had to contact the company, and they admitted that they didn't give her the books, and they tried to make it right with her, but because she had already made up her mind that she wasn't going to be able to pass this test, she didn't want to take the class again because they were offering to literally give her free one-on-one training as like a way to say they were sorry. And I tried to work it out with her to be like, listen, this is a great opportunity. You should take it.
Right.
But she just was done with the entire idea.
But at that point, if she's done, then it's on her to pay.
You would think. One would think. So I'm currently it was like almost $4,000 that I spent just trying to help somebody out. And I'm literally spending, I don't even know how much money on all the lawyers trying to get it figured out. So as I can assure you that there are a lot of people out there that just let a loss be a loss instead of adding to that loss. Very few people are as spiteful as I am to spend money they don't have on lawyer fees out of spite. So somebody not having a judgment against them does not necessarily mean that everything's all good. You still have to verify their license and make sure that that's active. You still have to try your best to get like proof of their work. Like I think that was like the one where we did where the people in Texas scammed like 24 families out of $5 million. They had all these videos on Instagram and TikTok and all the things of all these projects looking like their completed work that was other people's properties. It wasn't properties that they did renovations on. And it seemed like it was really good, but it wasn't their work. And the work they did do was so bad. Like these people are going to go to jail for it. So like that, if we've shared all these stories where nobody even got in trouble, imagine how bad it has to be that they're literally going to go to jail for what they did. Like, wow. Yeah. So it's the point that I'm trying to make is when you ask a builder for recommendations or not recommendations for, what is the word that I'm looking for?
I have no idea.
You're asking to see their projects. When you're asking to like, your portfolio. When you're asking for like, hey, I want to see your portfolio. I want to see completed projects. I want to talk to clients you've worked with. I can guarantee you they're not going to connect you with the person that is currently suing them or the person that they screwed out of $20,000. So that's where it's like me saying, oh, let me take you to some of my completed projects. Like, that's great because it helps you to see that I've completed projects. But like, you don't know that that's not my sister's house that I didn't build, but I'm making her say, hey, pretend to be a client of mine and pretend to be thrilled about it. So it really does require on your end, like doing that hardcore research to see if you can find anything good or bad about that person. Because I will say the age of technology, we do believe in reviews in places.
Yes.
It wouldn't be that hard to find a bad review. You might not be able to find a good review because when people are really happy with something, they a lot of times do like word of mouth, and they'll tell people how great the work is. But will they necessarily go online and be like, "Hey guys, let me tell you about this great"? Probably not. But there'll be, if somebody screwed them over, there will be that somewhere on the internet.
Unless you have a husband like mine that's like, no, you can't say that.
God.
They know where we live.
Hector wouldn't even try. Like, he's just like, just say it because we know you're gonna. Go ahead. Yeah. Like, but even still, like, I mean, remember that one Homeowner horror story where the lady that got screwed over bought the real estate agent's domain, like her name and the domain name for her name. And so like whenever you Googled her, this website would pop up and it was just like literally receipts of everything this woman did. Like just wild. So That's do have the capacity to put up if somebody screwed us over. So I do feel like But you know, there's things like they could have changed their business name. They could actually not have a business. So that's another step, is going to the Secretary of State for whatever state you live in and checking to see if they have a registered and licensed business. You know, like, are they paying taxes? Are they on the up and up? You know, did they have a LLC and then it got revoked because they didn't file reports? These are good things to know.
File under a new name.
How many companies have they had under their name? Because that's another thing. Like, when somebody says that they own this company and then you go to Secretary of State, it shows you who's listed as the president and the vice president of the company. I think it even like lists the secretary and all, if you have all of that in there.
If you have all that in there, yeah.
So if somebody says, "Oh yeah, this is my company," and you go to the Secretary of State, you pull up their company, you see they're a real company, but that person's name isn't anywhere. That's shady. So there's things that you can do to suss people out. Obviously, like this story of Jake Mulback, that guy did everything right. It was a combination of the general contractor being absolutely shady and the inspections department totally screwing him over that led him to that situation. But if you do all the steps right, like it is definitely going to improve the statistical probability
that you're going to have a good renovation.
Right. You're going to have a good renovation. And that is all that we want for you guys, is for you to have great experiences and for you to know what the red flags are, because so many people find themselves in this situation where they hired somebody, they believed that they were licensed, they believed when they said, "Oh, you pull the permit, it'll be easier, it'll be better." Like, to whoever this person is who wrote in this story, please know that you're not even the fifth person to send in an eerily similar story. This happens all the time. We as human beings just want to trust people. It's not like you didn't do anything wrong, right? Like, it's just you didn't know what to do to prevent this from happening to you. And so that is what this podcast is about. We want you guys to know all of the steps to take to protect yourself from having a bad experience. We don't want you to spend $95,000 on a bathroom, literally for any reason. But if you do, we don't want you to then not enjoy your bathroom because you have all these bad memories tied to it. Like, that is just not the point of how hard we all work for our money so that we can have nice things. So if you have had an experience that is less than ideal and you would like to share it with us, we would love for you to go to chicksandconstruction.com and share that with us. Yes. Another thing I'm supposed to start talking about, because this is technically a podcast, is that not just liking and subscribing on all of our socials and on social media, but if you are a listener, you can find us on whatever podcast platform you prefer. We're on all of them. So Jess, where can they find us on the socials?
All right. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, we're at Chicks in Construction Podcast, and on TikTok we're at Chicks in Construction.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time. Bye.